um want to make a video on Angular. So yeah, I'm planning to do this for a long time, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm postponing it. So it's just a quick start to Angular. So the Angular framework is a front end development framework, or it's more than that now. Angular is both front end and mobile, so it's so versatile. You can use it for absolutely anything. So in fact, the Angular can be your full stack framework almost. So you can have controllers that drive your views, etc. like that. So this is just the Angular documentation website, angular.io. So you can quick get started. You see, there's a tutorial. It's like a movie site tutorial something. So getting started. Start from installing the Angular CLI. This is how you install the Angular CLI. So okay, okay, let's see. Okay, to Angular. So let's say you wanted to install Angular, just do a PMI to Angular CLI. So it's going to install it. Of course, you have to install it globally. So yeah, but since I already have Angular, so you can see I can do ng dash dash version to know the current version of my Angular CLI. So okay, can you see? So I currently use version 10.1.4. Yeah. So and it even brings my Node.js version. My Node.js is 12.18.4. So what we're going to do today is just a basic introduction, sort of. To build a sort of a simple employee list um, app in Angular. So we have these components here: employee list, add employee component, edit employee components, etc. like that. So we have layouts also. Then we have a service class. So for this tutorial, we'll create a fake backend for our Angular frontend. So we use JSON-SERVER. So let's just go ahead and install the dependency. So I first want to set JSON-SERVER Backend up, or let me do, excuse me, I want another command line. Okay, cool. So I want to first to start a new Angular project. This is how you do ng new and the app or project name something. So of course, yeah, from here you can see it from the Angular website. I really suggest if you're just starting out with Angular, so you should look through the documentation tutorial they have on the documentation. So it is really explanatory and it will kind of give you a head start to Angular. So let's start a new Angular project. So let's just do ng new employee site employee portal or something. So let's just do, yeah. So we hit enter. So Angular is going to set up Bootstrap a new Angular for you. So it's asking you, would you like to add Angular routing? So just take yes. Why? Okay. I really want to go with plain old CSS. Yeah, simple. That good. So let's wait for it. Might take some time. So it's going to install the depend packages and yeah, sort of bootstrap the project for you. Yeah, in the meantime, I want to try my hand on Bootstrap 5. So we're going to add this CDS once our Angular app is installed. So we're going to add this CDS, this CSS and the JS. So kind of yeah, create our UI so for the project. So we will need JSON server, npm JSON server. So JSON server is just you can use JSON server to create a fake or a mock backend. Yeah, a mock backend like can you see get a full fake REST API with zero code in less than 30 seconds. So you just have a basic JSON file that defines the schema of your of how your backend will be, your models will be, and then it will simulate HTTP request, get, post, put, delete, etc. So simulate that from just your JSON server. So let's see if your Angular is done installing, creating a new app. Yeah, I don't know why. It usually takes sometimes. So let's look at the diagram again. So we have a root app component, and we have this following component employee list that gives us the route is slash employees gives us a list of all employees in our database from our backend. We're going to sort of use HTTP client to consume backend from our fake backend API. Yeah, that we're going to make using JSON server. So Angular is done. So cool. So let's just cd into that folder. Cd employee portal. Cool. So from here now we can try to install JSON server. So npm I, you can save it. JSON server. Okay. Okay. So we're trying to install JSON server. So it's going to add it to our package.json file. And after it installs JSON server, I'm going to set up a fake backend. Yeah, a fake backend. See the employee portal. Yeah, I actually want to open this in Visual Studio Code for now. Okay, cool. So now we have JSON server. So and the steps in includes creating. You can put it in the folder. Say um, backend, backend, like a backend folder, and then a file inside calling it backend.json. Yeah. So for an employee, we really want to, I don't know if I define the model here. Okay, I didn't do that specifically. So, but you can, for an employee, we you want to do something like so employees. So this is your employee objects array. Yeah, array actually, employee array, and then made up of one object, another one here. So each one has an ID. So I I want to have an ID I want to have an ID. I want to have an ID one, excuse me. Okay, and then we want to have the name of the employee also, which is a string. So we want to call this Smith, Smith, email address of the employee. Call it a.smith at gmail.com or something. And we need a phone for our employee also. So we need a phone. So I want to do +1 blah 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 like that. So we also need a department. What to call it, management, and then we also need a salary or something. Then we want to say 4,500. Okay, 45k. So I just want to copy this, paste it in here, and so we edit it for the next employee. So I'll make two. So onwards, as we make host our APIs to like send post requests, so it's going to be populated. It's going to be creating them in this backend JSON file, kind of like dropping stuff into a database or something, which is typical of what APIs do for you. So I want um yeah, okay, and at Node.js org or something. Okay, uh, let's say IT. So I just want to leave these two guys here for now. So now I want to set up my backend. So I already have a sort of JSON schema defined for them. So for our backend, so I you want to come to your package.json file, and first I need the relative path to this file. I need to copy that. Then you want to come to your package.json file, come to scripts, and then we want to add another run run scripts here. So we want to call it, anytime I try to run backend, I want it to run JSON server, watch this particular file. So backend/json backend/json. I want to copy that part, backend/json. Okay, so and your backend is ready. So let's try to verify that by running let's try to verify that by running node just npm run this guy right here. So npm run backend, and then let's see. Okay, JSON server. Okay, what's the issue? Yeah, no such file or directory. So you can see it's escaping this B. It's escaping this B actually. So let me see if I use /. Let's see. Okay, cool. So now we're off now. So you see your resources are here, localhost. So it's being served at localhost 3,000 for 3,000/employees. So if I fire up my postman, so if I fire up my postman, so to kind of make requests to this our false API, pseudo API. So it's going to work. So um, let's best practices. Let's create a new collection for create a new collection. So let's call it YouTube Angular employee MGT. Oh, that's a very long name. Sorry. Create the collection, and then let's add a new request. I want to get request get all employees. So where's the okay, get all employees. Then you want to bring the URL where your backend is being served using JSON server. Okay, and then you want to get all of them. So you just send, and voila. So this is your backend. So you can get a single one by just passing an ID. You can get the first one. So let's try to post one of them. Let's try to add more. So select post, and this will be the link, and then the body you want to select format raw, then text as JSON. Copy this and post this here. So of course I don't want to add so I don't want to add this. I want to put this as um, Brian Buckler, R Buckler at Rocket Mail. There is some mail like that. I don't know. Servers and infrastructure. Just infrastructures. So we want to give this guy 65 grand. So let's try to send a post and see if that works. Cool, good. Can you see have um we have um we have ourselves a new employee. So if you come back to your JSON server, you should see another guy now. Good. So it has posted it here. So okay, that's that about our backend. Now let's go to the Angular part of this tutorial. So we'll create an Angular app that will consume this first API that we have here. Okay, and then I'll just use that opportunity to show some features and some things that you can achieve using Angular. Yeah, yeah, okay. So let's make reference to a diagram. So I want to have a employee list, but before I do that, I want to create my model, employee model, based on my schema here. Actually, going to use this. This is going to guide me. So in source app folder, I really want to um, I mean, I really want to create a. Let me see. Comments. Let me just put it. Create a models folder, and then inside here I want to create a file called employee.typescript.ts. So we export class employee. So this is a new model. So of course this is now how you define it. So let me just put this here, comment it out, and then now define how our model will look. So we need an ID, which is a number. Okay, we need a name, which is string. We need an email, which is a string also. We need a phone, which is a string also. We need a department, string too. We need a salary, which is a number. Cool. Okay, great. So now we have a model. Okay, next thing we want to do is to kind of generate a service class, sort of like an utility class that we pass this model around and do all the things we need to do in our app, kind of make requests to APIs and so on like that. So I want to generate a service class. To generate a service class, you can do ng is an ng command, ng generate service, and then the name of the service, blah blah blah. So short form is nggs, and then the name of the service. If you want it to be in a specific folder, say services, so you put the folder and put / and then the name of the service, say service or util or something. Okay, so I want a service class nggs. I want it to be in services, and I want it to be called CRUD. I want it to be my CRUD service. So let's say or util I like util better. So enter. It's gonna create. If that folder does not exist already, Angular is gonna create that folder, then create a file name util.service. Yeah, yeah, util.service.ts. So a service class. Okay, cool. So we should have a services. Cool. So now you have a service class here. So these are some of the things you want to do here. We want to define methods to fetch our data, post, update it. So I want to get all employees. I want to get all employees method. Okay. I want to get single employee method. To get single employee. I want add employee method. Okay. I want add employee method. And I want to delete employee method also. Okay. So cool. And then so in this service class we're going to need some modules. We need particularly to make calls to our backend API. This our backend API running on localhost 3000. So we need HTTP client module, HTTP client module. So you actually every module that you're going to use in your app, your Angular app, you have to add them to the imports, yeah, to the import array in your app.module.ts. So and you have to import them from the top right here. So let's import HTTP client module, HTTP client module from it's actually in Angular/common/http. Okay, cool. Nice one. And then come to the imports array here and then add HTTP client module. Okay, cool. So okay, and then come back to your service. Yeah, to be able to use HTTP client, to be able to use any module, you have to add it in the constructor. I mean, you have to inject it into the constructor in the current class where you want to use it. So we can call it like public, we can call it any name HTTP, and there is a type of is a type, a data type, so a type of HTTP client. Cool. So can you see Angular? I mean, it's already imported here. So I also want to create an header, yeah, an header configuration in case of when I want to make a post request and so on. So I want a const header options. Options is subject, which is a type of header. Yeah, equals to new HTTP headers. Okay, and then I want a content type application/JSON. Okay, nice one. So you can now use it in your service class. Cool. Okay. let's start with the get employees. Get employees actually does not take anything, but before we do that, we need a way of handling our errors gracefully. So Angular is a framework that yeah I mean like can make you get confused when errors comes up, and it can be really bad. So let's create an error handling pipeline here. So let's call it process. Let's call it undo error. It takes an error object like that. So and we define the let message, whatever the message is, to first be initialized to empty string, and then we check if there is an error event actually. So if okay, if error dot error instance of error event, we check if there is an error present, yeah, and then okay, so if it's an error event, then our message is error dot status, okay, so else if it's not, we should just at least just kind of we should just kind of like let's say console log something, or forever. So we can just say error is error, this particular error code, that's error dot error, okay, error dot status. So wherever the error is, you put it in our message, and then just console log whatever the message is at the end of the day, and we also kind of return a true error, from the observable.json or passing our message. So okay, true error from RSJS, and then okay, cool. So now we can get right to sort of get our employees. So get employees is going to fetch all employees like I did here, like sort of get all of them. It's going to fetch all the three of them. We have three for now. So and then it doesn't take anything. So but we are going to return an observable. And how do I explain observable? Observable is sort of like a promise. Yeah, if you're familiar with JavaScript, observable is like promise, like something you are expecting that is still coming. So observable, of course, we need to import observable. Yeah, okay, cool. It's already auto imported for us. Cool. Observable from RSJS, and it's a type of employee. That observable is giving us back a type of employee, a type of our model. Import employee from models. Okay, cool. And then we want to return this.http.get. We are getting the types of employee. Okay, okay. And then http.get takes a URL, which I have not brought in. So we're going to define our URL. This is our base URL for our false or fake backend. So copy that and you want to, let's do best practice here. So you want to come to your environment. Environment, um, environment is where you have like let's say where you have confidential values like credentials or some links where you just can store them. So two types you have prod environment or prod.ts. This is what Angular uses when you are in a production environment, like when you are kind of trying to build for production, trying to package for deployment. So whereas environment.ts is the one you can use for testing and your test environment. So let's define a backend URL in this environment.ts. So we sort of call it this HTTP localhost 3000. So now you can import it to your util class. So then we'll define a string of backend URL here. We'll just say our backend endpoint. We are going to be very descriptive. So is a string and the value is from our environment. Good. So it's important. Import environment from source environment dot backend URL. Cool. Nice one. So okay. So now we have a backend environment. So I want to copy this. So this dot backend endpoint plus you want to concat it with employees. Since we are returning all employees like I did here, you want to concat it with this. Okay. So it will return all employees there. And that should be all here now. You want to pipe this through your error handling uh, method that you have already defined here. So and then you create a retry, that is to retry it. I mean, if something fails, so that's the purpose of that actually. For an operation, so just to, and then you want to do a catch error also. You want to catch whatever error, and then you want to use your process handle error, your handle error method for that. So we need to import retry and catch error from RSGS operators. So let's import them. Import retry and catch error from RSGS slash operators. Cool. Okay, nice one. So okay, so Angular understands this now. Okay, so now we are building our service. Now to get a single employee, you need an ID. So we pass an ID to this method. Needs an ID like us. Look at my postman. So like this to get a second value. And you see you need an ID at the back of your employees. So it takes an ID and then returns an observable type of employee also. Can be any type, can be any actually. Return this HTTP employee is the backend endpoint plus employees and then concat your ID. Nice, cool. Then pipe through your error handling. Try if error, then catch the error wherever the error is. Use your error handler that you have already created to handle the error. Okay, nice one. To create our add employee takes a data object that can actually be anything. I mean, yeah, but we most likely want it to be most likely want it to be an employee type. So observable, return an observable for this also employee, and then on this http dot. This time around we are adding, so we call a post request, make a post request, and then this dot backend endpoint plus concat excuse me, why have I not enlarged this? Sorry, employees. Okay, yeah, and then you want to employees. That's all. It takes another thing, the data you want to pass to this post request. You want to JSON stringify your data, whatever the data is. Should make it in a JSON format, and then you want to pass in your headers, your HTTP headers. That is to define that the data you are passing is a JSON type. So you want to what's the name header options. So you want to copy this guy and put it here, right here. Cool. And then you want to pipe through your error handling. Try once and then catch error. Use our this undo error method to undo the error. Okay, nice. So it remains another one. Update employee takes two things actually. So ID takes an ID, and then it takes data. Also, ID is the ID of the resource from this backend for ID of the resource that you're trying to update. So this returns an observable. So employee want to define it to be an employee type. Return this HTTP dot put request. Now it's an update. It's a put request. So put employee and this dot our URL. Okay, concatenate your employees, and passing the ID. Okay, and then JSONify wherever the data that is passed, stringify. Okay, data passing, and then our HTTP header option, our header options. Cool. So pipe through your error handling, try one, and catch the error. This does undo error. Okay, nice. So for delete employee, we just want to take an ID to be deleted. So an ID, yeah, you just want to take an ID, and you don't even need to turn an observable for that. Actually, you can just return this dot HTTP dot delete. Okay, an employee. Then you want to pass in your backend endpoint plus concat your employees with the ID of the resource you're trying to delete particularly. So, and you might want to add your this is absolutely not necessary, but you can still add it. IP if an error occurs, this is undo error. Okay, so now we've got our CRUD and do by our service class. So the next thing is to create components that will use this method. So actually those components we kind of subscribe, that is borrow a copy of each of these methods. So we have let's first create an employee list component. So this is how you create a new component in Angular. Components ng generate components, can use this ng generate components. You can use nggc also. So let's come here and try to generate the employee list component. So I'll use ng generate component. Yeah, like you can see on the Angular.io website, component. And I want it to be in a folder called components. Yeah, I want it to be in a folder called, let me say, my components. Yeah, my components, and I want to call it employee list component. So employee list. Okay, and now hit enter. So Angular is going to generate a new component for me. Okay, nice one. So now we have our can you see this code has been created here, my employee components. And this is the employee components TypeScript file. This is the template file, the HTML. This is where you put the template. actually. So something just got to my mind now. So I want to add the Bootstrap today so that we can be able to use Bootstrap in our templates. So let's add the Bootstrap CDNs to our project. You basically add it to your index.html. So I want to add the CSS one here, and then the, the JS bundle. I want to add it, yeah, just at the bottom before the close of the body tag. Yeah, and you can also install the Bootstrap package, yeah, from Node.js like this: npm install bootstrap. Actually, it's going to install it and add it to your package.json, and you can use it in your Angular, so your Angular app actually. But the easiest route is just grab the Bootstrap CDN and put it in your index.html. That is just right at the root of your project. Okay, so that's that. Okay, now we have an employee list component, and this component is going to subscribe to get all components. Employee list will get all the employees, not component, all the employees actually. So so we first want to define an empty array of employees. I actually do want to call it. Let me call it employees. Employee is any. I want it to be an any type, and then it's an empty array for now, for the moment. Okay. And then I want to bring in my service class so that I can be able to use this method, subscribe to this method, so that I can be able to fetch all employees. So come to employee list component, and then to inject your service, just do private, public, let's say service. We call it by service or service of any name. And then it's a type of util service. It's a type of this class. So you want to do util. Can you see VS Code already gave you suggestions? So double click that. It's going to import it to the top of your TypeScript file. So now you have that service injected um into your employee list component, so you can use it. So and we want to call the method that we subscribe to the get all employees um get all employees method here. We have a method now component that we subscribe to this method. So I want to call it on our ng on init. So ng on init is like our lifecycle method, um like in React. This is like your components, did months, yeah, like your initialization, like your lifecycle method when all components are being loaded. Yeah, this is what it calls fetch all employees. I want to call this method, and this method is not implemented yet, so you can see I have these red squiggly lines underneath the underlining. So I just want to do control dot and declare the method. Cool. So no more error now. So let's implement the method, and the method will just subscribe to this method that fetches all employee in our service class. So we want to sort of just do this dot service dot. Can you see? You can see all the methods we declared inside our service. All of them are showing right here. So this dot service dot get all employees. Good. Okay. It's not taking any parameter. If it was taking some parameter like this, you would pass like ID, but this method specifically does not take any parameter, so it's just blank. Yeah. So yeah. So get all employees dot subscribe. We use the subscribe method, and then pass in the resource folder that we want it to map to or look like, and then we set it to. So this resource is anything that is coming from our subscription to these get employees. Of course, this API call will return a list of employees. We return all these employees, all these three employees that we have here. We return all these guys. So you should subscribe to anything coming here. So this is our res. This is our res here. This is our rest. So you want to set your this dot employees array employees employees equals to this rest, and then I also want to console log to know if it's working. Console log what this employees yeah actually is. So okay, now if we what I should have done, I've not run this app. So to run your Angular app, so you just do ng serve coming. Let me copy this. I think I will need another CMD of this project open. Okay, I want excuse me cd. Okay, okay, cool. So I want to so this is how you run your Angular project. This is how you compile and save it. ng serve and you want to tick open, it will open your default browser, open the app on localhost port 4200 your default browser. But okay, let me do that so that you can see it. ng serve dash dash open or dash o. So it's going to compile actually before saving your project. So while it's compiling and it's trying to run, okay, let me allow it to compile. Okay, it's compiling Angular core. Yes, 2015. Okay. So it's compiling all the modules that is our app is using, and then it's going to just kind of yeah save the file. Okay. So it's building. Okay, cool. So can you see server is listening on localhost 4200 and it just opens up my browser, and of course it's going to serve the root components. That's the app component of HTML. So okay, this is our app, and now I want to direct um I want Angular to use our employee list component as the index, as the root path root route, yeah, sort of. So I can do that in app routing module. That's where we define routing modules for. Firstly, I want to clear all this clutter in app component.html. Let's do that. So I want to delete GLI 2. Okay, delete that. Cool. Now you have just your router outlet. Cool. Okay, so that's nice. And want to come to our operator module. This is where you define your routes, the routes in your app. So once you define a new object path, takes a path of dash path. Dash path is this path, this root path, and then takes a component also. The component is going to be employee list. I want it to be our employee list component. And then you can see employee list component is important. Cool. So you should see whatever is an employee list component HTML file. So if I look at it, we should see employee list works. Can you see? Okay. So we want something much more fancy. So firstly, I want to let me grab some stuff, some Bootstrap stuff. Okay. I want a card. I want a card. I want a card. I want a card component for our employee. Yeah, I want this card. I want this card. Yeah, I want this card actually. But before that, I want to define a class container. Yeah, so we have to do the bootstrap way. This tutorial class row. Okay, then yeah, I want to give also. I want to call MD or LG of yeah. Okay, okay. I don't want this. I want something like this. Yeah, and then inside of here, I want to put my card. To put my card that I just got from Bootstrap. Okay, nice one. So employee component is it's a little fancier now. Cool. Um, can we get a decent avatar image? Avatar image. Yeah, for can we get a decent avatar image for our employee, kind of like a thumbnail or something. Let's see if we can get the image address and just put it right here. Okay, so how does it look now? Okay, it's not too bad. Yeah, actually, I want to, I usually like to debug it in Chrome. Yeah, cool. Okay, so before this, just before this, I do want a bold header that has employees, employees, yeah, kind of like all employees or something. Okay, okay, cool. So all employees, and then yeah, I and then I really want to give this a margin top of 4. I want it to come down a little bit more. Okay, cool. Okay, so um now we have our employee list component being served at the root of our Angular app. So we want to see what is in this, what is coming from this employee. Already we are console logging, so let me just bring our console up. Okay, cool. So refresh again, and of course you can see the array of employee. Can you see all the employees? So our HTTP our HTTP client is working. It's returning all the employees, all these employees. It's returning all of them. So cool, nice one. So and then what we want to do is to view them in our template. So you want to use an ng for directives. So ng4 equals to let employee or employee of your employee array of this guy here that is identifying all of them. Okay, let employee of employees array employees. Okay, and then we want to put the card title to be the name of the employee. So now employee we is now a copy of each one here. It's like in Python you do for I in this particular list or something. So you have employee coming and then your name for that. Cool. So now we have, can you see? We have three cards now. We have three cards now, and they are all choked up. I want a is it a padding or margin right of 2 or me? that's not actually correct on the px of 2 padding. Yeah, that doesn't work either. Okay, so Adam Smith, that's their name. You can see all their names. Adam Smith, Randall, and okay, next thing we also want to capture their email. So email, I want email. Let's say is an H3. It's an H3. So email, um, email. I actually want a. I don't want href mail to. I think there is mail to attribute for anchor tag. Yeah, mail to. Yeah, I want to capture. Yes, employee.email, employee.email, such that on the fly you can just email the employee. Okay, so let's copy this and put it here also. Let's see what we have. Okay, ahref, so the piece of stuff, ahref, ahref. How is this supposed to look? Mail to, okay, okay, yeah, actually, yeah, it was me. If I try to do that, to try to open my email browser, cool. Yeah, I got it. So, but this is too big. Okay, I want a span. It's a span, okay. That's too big. Okay, nice one, cool. So, do we need department also? We need a department. I don't know why I just keep using span tag. Okay, department. Want to capture the employees department, right? As it is coming from your API. That's how you use it. Yeah, use it like it comes from here. So department. Can you see department management? Oh, la la, that doesn't be very well. Let me just repeat that. Sorry. Okay. So should draw it down. Cool. Servers and infrastructures. Okay, nice one. I want that to be bold. I want that to be strong. Okay. Salary. We need the salary too. Salary. Salary. And I want dollar. $1 to put dollar there. Employee dot salary cross the p tag. Okay. Oh wow. Got error. Is the error? Yeah, that dollar is not valid. So of course we just do. I hope that is acceptable. I hope that is acceptable. Okay, let's just leave it as it is for now. Okay, salary, email, phone number, call, so employee.phone. Okay, cool. Can't bind to ng4. Okay, what exactly is the issue? Property of div. Okay, okay. Is this b tag? I guess. Let's try closing. I didn't close the b tag there. Okay, try print of course. Okay, all right. Yeah, spawn. I really can't tell why this is. Okay, uh, employee your salary. Wait, do we do something wrong? That's not the issue. Okay, combine to ng4. since it isn't a known property of div. Okay, I think we should just let's see where our code went wrong. Let employee of employees. Okay. Okay, let's see. Wow. Yeah, we can tell why. Okay, it was compiled successfully now. I don't know. Okay, okay, let's try to bring this here. Let's bring this forward and then make it like that. It's still the same. Okay, let me start this start again. Bring this save. I want to save it again. Then check my app routing module. Is there any problems with the component? Okay, it's actually fine. It's right. Router outlet. Okay, it's compiling. Can you see sometimes it can be hard to debug? Yeah, a few times. Okay, yeah, it's actually compiled. Let's try. Oh wow, it works. So I just needed to restart the server again. Wow, that's somehow okay. Okay, this is a list of all our employees, and okay, we have their phones, we have their departments, we have their salary, and I want to get rid of this test here. This p p p test. Okay, yeah. So I want to now let's create um a single employee. Let's create a single employee component that will hold such that when we click this, it takes us to a page for that single employee. So we create another component. We call it nggc components slash single employee. So okay, so that's single employee. I also want to create edit employee nggc components, edit employee, okay. What other components do we need? We need add employee, edit employee, and edit employee. I need add too. So and you just see add employee, add employee. Okay, so we start from single employee. So basically, when we click this for this unique employee, it's going to take us to a page that for this guy, this Adam Smith. Okay, okay, let's see how we can implement that. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's just come to let's first define the route for that in our app routing model, and then we want a single. So we want another object. We want to call it employees and put passing an ID, and then the component will be single employee component. Good, which has been sort of stuff. Okay. We also want um, we also want um okay we also want another employees um employees employees ID slash edit. I actually want this to for editing, so edit employee component. Cool. And then to add employee, we just want it to be in employees slash add employee slash add, and the component will be the add employee component. Nice. Cool. So let's bring that into import add employee component. Cool. Nice. So let's implement single employee component. So inside your components, wow, I forgot I already created a folder for them. All right, no problem. So single employee, we want to use want to subscribe in this okay. First let me define an employee object that we're going to store whatever we get into. So let's say is an employee object or just a single employee. It's any for now, and just an empty object for now. So we want to inject our service, public service, and then it's a type of our util service. Import it. Cool. Nice one. Here we also want activated routes. I mean, be able to use these routes we define here. So we want to import a module, activated routes, so public act routes, activated routes. Okay. Then and then I think that's all. I don't need a router here for now. Yeah, so we want to capture the ID passed in. How do we do that? ID is a number type, and it's equals to this dot activated routes dot snapshots dot params. Want to capture inside the parameter passed to our routes ID value, the ID field. So the field that will fetch single employee is dot fetch single employee. Okay. Now let's declare it. Okay, nice, cool. So we just this dot service dot the service dot we'll use the get single employee, okay, the one that takes an ID. So get single employee and it takes this dot ID, this ID captured here, okay. Dot subscribe, we subscribe to that method. I get single employee inside service. Yes, we pass it to this object, and then we set our own employee object that we define up here, or empty object, to whatever comes with our response, okay. And I want to also log our employee object and see if we actually get a value from the fetch. So if we navigated to these routes, this employee slash ID, is going to render a single component for us. So let me do that right away. So slash employees slash one. Let's see. Okay, it says, can you see it fetches the first employee? Nice one. That's the work of this console.log. Cool, nice one. So now we need to make it look prettier. So let's just copy. Let's borrow this our friend here. Yeah, let's borrow this our friend here. Okay, okay. I want it to put in the single employee components, the HTML file, the template file. Okay, I want just to bring in our employee. You don't need an ng for here because it's not an array. It's just a single object here. It's a single object here. If it was an array of objects like many of them, then you need to use an ng for directive. So okay, and I need to change all this to employee capital one. That is the one that is here. Yeah, this one here. Okay, 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 okay. I think that's all for now. Cool. And voila, this is your single employee. Okay, what employee one, employee, I want employee one. Kind of, let's do something fancy. Employee.id, I want the employee's ID. Okay, employee one, nice one. And okay, that's cool. So we want it to link from our index. So I want to click this and I want it to route me to that employee slash ID. So come to your employee list component and let's make use of this href. We don't use href yet. In Angular you can use router. Yeah, router link. And that link will be employees, and then we'll pass in the ID as it is written here for single employees. Pass in the ID for employees. Pass in the ID of our employee.id. Employee.id. Okay, nice one. Okay, now if I over this, I wish you can see that yeah, I like employees one, employees two. So if I click this guy, it's going to take me to his own unique page for that employee. Okay, that's that about single employee. The same thing goes for edit employee actually. But before I do edit employee, I want to do a form to add employee. So from our app routing module, I have an employees add, and we have the component. We have created the component. So this is the component. So I want just want a form. I want a really cool form. I want a form. I want a really cool form. Yeah, I'm trying to use Bootstrap 5. Okay, of course. So let me just create a form here and let me put it in container. Okay, so I want a form. Actually, to use forms in Angular, we sort of need forms module. So we'll bring that in actually, just in a moment. So I want to take the individual's name, that's form control, I mean form groups, group. I want a label for name, mm, employee name, label. Okay, and then we want an input type of text, and then input type of text, and then we want it to have the name of name, and then we want to pass in an ng model, yeah, an ng model that will identify this particular field with a model. So I want to name it an employee.name. I will explain in a moment, please. Placeholder, enter employee's name. Okay, and then I want to give it a class. I want to pretty class of form control. We have Bootstrap, so form control. Okay, so I could just copy this and do for phone number and all the others. Name, email, employee, ng model is employee.email, email address, and then we want phone. So I want to put this as phone. Enter phone number. Okay. After phone, what else do we have? We have email for department salary. Mm, okay. Department. 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 Enter department. Okay, cool. And then salary. 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 Okay. Okay, nice, cool. So form. So that's our form. Let me make it be in a LG12. I want to take the whole screen. Okay, and then I want a button too. I want a button. Same type of submit. I want a class of BTN. I don't know. Is Bootstrap 5 BTN2? Okay. BTN success. Yeah. I want BTN LG. I think. Okay. And I want to define a click for this button to be our add employee method that we are going to define that we are going to define actually the employee. Let me just put it as an add employee. Add employee. Good. So now let's come to the add employee TypeScript file. Yeah. So two things, the employee object. So let's define an input. So an input type of employee. Yeah, input. Okay. Okay. And then I want to make it so can you see it's saying it's missing? So an input is you want to send this employee object as an input to our template now. We want to send it as an input to this template actually. So we want to send it as an input to our template actually. Okay, so um let's do that. And then you have to init all the values here, or I don't want to call it an employee, let me call it any, because I don't want you to fill ID. If you pass it as a type of an employee, it will constrain you to fill ID, which does not make sense. So you need just name, let's say is init to just blank, email is initialized to just blank, email, phone is initialized to just blank. What else is an employee? Email, for department and salary. Department is blank, salary is blank too. Cool. Okay, nice. And then we want to bring in our service to be able to use our post method. Post request GTO service, import it, cool, nice one. And then we need a router this time, tab of router. Yeah, from Angular / router, cool, nice one. And I think that's pretty much it for now. And then we define this method that is going to submit our form, that when this button is clicked, it should fire this method. So you have to define it. Okay, so and this method takes this method your takes a data actually. Yeah, takes a data. Okay, let me see. Okay, add employee. And how do we add employee? We just subscribe to it. Just subscribe to this post. Yeah, this add employee method here, and we pass in data. Subscribe to that and passing data. Excuse me. Okay, add employee. So and then I want to do this service dot the service dot add employee. Then we want to pass in this dot employee, this object here. Yeah, employee, subscribe. Okay. Okay, what do you want to do here? Probably also log that employee added successfully. And I also want to navigate to another route to our home page so that you can see that employee immediately. So this dot router dot navigate, we want to navigate to our slash, that's our index view. Yeah, you want to come to this view here, to that route actually. So let's see if this does the work. Our add employee is at add localhost employee / add localhost. Start the route. Start the correct route. Is that the correct route? Let me see. equals employee slash add. Yeah, that's it actually. Oh yeah, and the template here, the templates. No, that's not the template. Add employee, add employee. Non-property of input. That salary. What's the issue here? Salary. Okay. Yeah, let me stop this server and save it again. Hopefully that should solve all those errors. Employee. Oh, wow. Employees add. Okay. Employees slash add. Employee slash add. Employee. Okay. Yeah. Excuse me. Sorry. Update module. Sorry. We actually need to bring in forms module. Angular slash forms. Okay. Okay. And then now add it to our import array forms module. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Totally. I totally forgot that. Excuse me. That's not supposed to be so. Okay. Why is it going to part match? Part match. Employees slash add. What's wrong with my template? It's serving I don't know. It's serving the single employee template. Why is that?
Nigeria don't feel. Jesus.
So
You don't feel
sort of just
Nigeria don't feel. Jesus.
so that's the form. That's the form for
Failed.
that's the form for the add employee. Yeah. Okay. Let's try to wow add employee. The form does not look so good. Okay. Let's try to add email comments. Then try to add employee. Wow, voila. See a new employee has been added. Okay, cool. So you can go to view this employee. Okay, this is the new employee. Okay, that works. Another thing we should do is to test that about the add employee. Edit employee now. To edit employee, just come to your single employee on to put a button here where somebody can edit the employee. I guess class row, class row. Okay, I want to sort of make two columns. Then LG6. Then I want the other guy. Edit employee to be called LG6 too. View employee profile. Okay, let's try to see edit employee now. Wow, it doesn't look so good. Okay, button secondary. Let's see what is button secondary. Oh, okay, cool. I want BTN BTNSM. I want a small button. I want BTNSM also. Yeah. Okay, nice. So edit employee should take us to the edit employee route. So let me bring the router link employee dot id. You know, edit employee takes an ID and then appends a slash edit at the back. So let's just put it here, right here. Paste slash edit. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So we need the form. We need the form we used in add employee. Of course, I could just copy this and put it in our edit employee template. Okay, okay, very good, very good. So for edit employee, we do basically the same thing. We do basically the same thing. So we have our employee object to be let's first take the ID. Let's take the ID is a number and it's activated routes of an ID we are capturing. So let's take a public route, the type of activated route, and then we don't want our service to service type of utility service. Then we want our router type of router. Okay, that's one. Oh no, not here. Yeah, that's where it's supposed to be. Okay, number is this dot activated routes dot snapshot params. We are capturing ID from parameter passed to the route. Okay, I want an employee object which is it's actually an input actually, and then it's the name is employee, then it's us, and okay, it's an input actually. So we want to first call get single employee in our ng-on unit. So we want to first subscribe to get single employee. This is your service that get single employee. I want to pass in this ID. Let's subscribe. Okay, so subscribe to it such that when the page to edit employee loads, it comes with the value and the data of that employee. So this employee is our response. So we should also log to be sure everything is fine. and then we now want to call edit employee for you, kind of employee edit employee method. Okay, to edit employee method, for this also it takes two things. It takes come and look at our service update. We are going to call this um we are going to call this update employee, so it takes ID and data. Okay, cool. So edit employee. Firstly, I want to bring it on. Click this edit employee. This is the function, the method that will do that. Okay, nice. Update. I want this to be update employee. Okay, and then we want to subscribe to that method in our service that does the work of update employee. It takes two things. This ID and then this dot employee dot subscribe to that subscribe. Okay, after we update, we want to navigate to the index page, I guess, index page to see that data updated. Actually, before we do that, before we call this guy here, we want to check if window confirm. Are you sure? Are you sure you want to update this employee? Okay, kind of just ask the user if he's if he wants to go ahead with the action. Okay, and then put this all implementation in that if statement. So if window will confirm, are you sure you want to? So this is the router that navigate, and then console log that employee updated successfully. Okay, let's see if this works. So let's see if this works. So let's refresh this page, and we have employees for edit. Okay, nice. Can you see it prefills the value? I mean the data of that individual. So let's add mm, Larry Ford. Larry at hotmail.com. Okay. Then let's put department to be HR. Then salary is 40 grand. And then let's click update. Can you see this prompt? Are you sure you want to update this employee? Okay, cool. It updates it, and then this employee is now Larry Ford. Okay, that's that about that. Are we done with all the components? Edit, add. Okay, now delete now. So I actually want delete to be on the front page here. I mean here. I want the delete to be here. I want the delete to be on the employee list component. So let's go to the employee list template file. I want a p tag that is a row. I want to pack both buttons in that row. Okay, and then I want this to be um called md7. Then I want the delete guide to be md5. The router link. I actually don't need to do any router link for this. I could just use a button and attach a click event to the button. So attach a click event and make it delete employee. So we're going to delete employee, and it takes this employee ID, current employee ID. Okay, and you want to call it a class of PTN danger. Yeah, red, but yeah, PTN danger. Delete employee. Okay, nice. So now let's see our index page now. Oh la la. I want this to be called MD5. Okay, delete employee. Wow, pretty looks funny. PTN SM. Smaller buttons, please. Smaller buttons. Okay, okay, nice. This is still cool. So delete employee. So now let's implement delete employee in the TypeScript file for employee list component. So let's employee list. Okay. So this is the module. Bring it down here. Delete employee, and we pass in the ID, and then we want to check if the individual wants to delete the employee for real. If window.confirm, are you sure to delete this current this employee? Okay, so if he confirms that, then we want to do two things: delete, let me know, just remove employee from the user interface, and then now make a subscription to our service to delete. Okay, so to delete from UI, we fetch our employees and remove that the employee with that particular ID. So we just do is.employee equals to employees dot filter x. We use lambda expression, so x dot id is not equals to that particular id that is passed. We want to remove this particular, that is, we want all the employees that will be rendered to be without this one here, right here. Do you understand? Okay, and then after that, we want to now delete it from our backend. We want to make a delete. So if you want to subscribe to this service dot delete employee, I want to pass in this id dot subscribe, this id, okay, of course, and then you want to, yeah, you don't want to do anything. You can just console that successfully. So that way it has been deleted. So let's refresh and try to delete this Larry Ford guy. And then we get a prompt, are you sure to delete? Then we click OK, and that is gone from our UI. Can you see? It's not there again. So I can delete this guy too. So if I come to my postman and try to fetch one again, you will not see that guy there. It's not there. So cool. It works. So come to your backend. It's been deleted from here. So let's try to delete Ryan Buckler and see. So let's delete Ryan Buckler. Delete employee. Are you sure to delete this employee? Yes. Prompt, it has disappeared and it doesn't appear here anymore. Okay. And fetch get, it doesn't appear here also. Okay, nice one. So I think we've done a good job actually. So that is that. That is, yeah, actually that is supposed to be view employee profile. Okay, so thank you guys. So why not, let's make this look a little bit more beautiful. So let's make some layout components. So nggc, I want them to be in the my components slash layouts folder, and I want this one to be a header component. I need navigation. This component need navigation. No, navbar. I need navbar. How does 5 navbar looks? Yeah, pretty much the same thing. I think it's the same thing we used to have. Yeah. Okay. In the meantime, let me try to post one employee and then post. Okay. Let me post another Ryan Buckler. Okay. And another one. And then refresh the page. Wow. Now we have, I just have 6 guys here. Then post another one. Okay. Now we have 6 employees. Our company is growing. Nice one. What was I trying to do? Okay, I was trying to make a navbar. Okay, I want to copy this and then come to I think I dropped it here. No, okay, layout here. Header. Yeah, I want to paste this HTML, this Bootstrap navbar layout file, and you want to drop your navbar on your app routing module. In your no, not app routing, in your app.component.ts. So on this, you want to come here, first grab the selector for your header layout, for your header. The selector is this guy here, app header. This is the selector. Okay. Then app.component.html. I want to put this here. And then you want to close it. So every of your page is going to have that header now. So let's see. And we have a nice looking header. Nice one. Cool. Okay. Now we want to, let's sort of do some customization. Our employee portal management portal. Okay, and then home is just here. Then we want edit employee. We want it to go to router link. We want it to be a router link. Angular we use router link, so I think the route is employees slash router link employees slash ID. I think ID. No. We can go to a single employee. Actually, we don't need to identify that. So just edit employee. Each one we have his own route actually. So this is nothing serious. So about something. So that's just it. So can have this. I think that's pretty much everything for this tutorial. I hope I've been able to. If you want to add a footer too, let's see. Is there a footer? So if you want to add a footer, you can add it. So just put it below. Just put the footer. Just put the footer below your app router outlet actually. So that's how that works. And I hope you enjoy this tutorial. Please, if you like this video, like and comment. to understand.